guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so this much awaited series is here, and it's talking about this word that I don't know has such a negative energy or vibe over it, and that's dealing with infertility. So this 3-part series is going to be again dealing with infertility. The first video here in the series is going to be talking about infertility. It's going to be talking about how we got pregnant and why we did IVF. So it's going to be our infertility story. If you're new here, my name's Angel. I share everything lifestyle. If you're interested in that, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe, as well as click that notification bell so you get notified each time I upload videos. For an update, I am at my 9-month mark. Baby is due at any point, at any time. Currently, its due date is about 2 weeks away. I will give you guys a belly update in my next video. All right, let's jump right in. Let's talk about what people are so scared to talk about, and that is infertility. People are so scared to talk about infertility as if like something is wrong with them. But guess what? 99% of the population has some type of health issue they're dealing with, and nobody is perfect. I said body, B-O-D-Y. Some people are born with health issues, whether it's like a hearing problem or brain issue, and then some people develop issues from the things that they do, such as, you know, smoking. You got the risk of cancer, and eating lots of sweets, you get the risk of diabetes, you know, such and such like that. So everyone has health issues that they have to deal with. Some are more major than others, but don't ever feel bad or feel like something's wrong with you because you're dealing with infertility. Some many people are dealing with their health issues and things that they're going through. This is just your journey. And remember, God gives each person their own different faith journey and challenge. So it's up to you how you choose to deal with it. But infertility is a word that nobody wants to talk about. And you know, growing up, they always talk about not getting pregnant and ways not to get pregnant. Make sure not to get pregnant, especially like in high school. You know, they drill that in your head, don't get pregnant. But no one addresses like infertility and challenges of getting pregnant. I do feel like there should be a better support system and more openness about it. And so that's why I wanted to come open on my channel, and with those that know me and around me, I'm very open about it, and provide hopefully a support system, because it's just non-existent, and a lot of times you just feel alone. Just know you're not alone. I hope I inspire and motivate you guys, and just go ahead and open up about it. I know it's hard, but you never know who you may help, because I kid you not, like when I open up to people about IVF, they either have done it or they know somebody doing it or dealing with it. And it's been amazingly crazy and eye-opening, and it's just like brought you closer to people, because they be like, oh, my sister went through that. Oh, you know, my friend went through that. It's like it's becoming more and more common, guys. For all of you who have reached out and I've encouraged you and inspired you, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad that my journey has given you guys encouragement, and know that I'm always here for you. So if you have questions, just send them to me. And a huge thank you guys so much for all of your love and support that you guys have given us throughout our journey. We really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. All right, so let's dive right in. Okay, let's clear up all of this misunderstanding of what infertility is. Okay, here's the definition of infertility. The definition of infertility is not being able to get pregnant after careful timing, as well as unprotected sex for a year. Other things also described as infertility is if you can get pregnant but you continue having miscarriages and stillbirths. That's also described as infertility as well. When people say infertility, it's not necessarily a negative thing, and I don't know why it comes off that way, but that's the definition of it. And it doesn't mean that, oh, you can't never have babies or you're infertile. It doesn't really mean that, but that's the true definition of what infertility means. So when couples and women say they're dealing with infertility, you know, it could be a number of reasons why. Believe it or not, according to the American Pregnancy Association, 1 out of 6 couples are actually affected by infertility. So it's actually fairly common, but people just keep quiet about it. And again, the cause of it could be a number of reasons. It could be, you know, your hormone levels in a man or in a woman. It could be issues with ovulation. There's just so many different issues and number of causes that can be behind you not being able to get pregnant. that's not saying that you're infertile or you will never ever be able to have a baby. That doesn't apply to everybody. So that should clear up the definition of what infertility is. And there are a ton of medical treatments out there that can definitely significantly improve your chances of getting pregnant. From hormone treatments to fertility drugs to surgery to advanced medical techniques. There's just so many things out there. So for all of you who are watching and are dealing with infertility, I'm here to encourage you. It's okay. Don't feel down on yourself. Don't feel like you're less than a person because you have a medical issue you're dealing with. Everyone else has medical issues they're dealing with. So just keep that in mind. And I'm here to hopefully give you some positive vibes, some positive energy. And for those of you who have never dealt with infertility, don't look down upon those who are dealing with it because you don't know what you're going to be dealing with next. So get knowledge about it and support those who are dealing with it just like you would with somebody with breast cancer. Just give them support and learn about it so you know. That's the best thing you can do. Okay, so that's enough of giving you guys an overview of infertility and giving you my motivational speech. Let me dive into how we got pregnant and why we ultimately had to do IVF. And I have my notes too, so that's why I'm looking down. So the first year after marriage, we actually tried to get pregnant naturally using ovulation kits, but the thing was I had irregular cycles. I had irregular periods. So my cycles were all over the place. I may have had 4 or 5 cycles in that year period. So we didn't have the normal 12 chances like most people do because they regulate every month. So we had already very few chances of getting pregnant because you gotta ovulate to get pregnant, which you ovulate after your cycle. For those who have irregular cycles, let me just say this because growing up as a kid, I've always had irregular cycles, always. And all of my doctors will be like, oh, that's normal, it's okay. And they just put me on birth control and you know, that was supposed to be the fix. That is not the fix. And there is a reason. Don't let them tell you that it's normal and it's okay because it's not. It's usually an underlying reason why you're having irregular cycles. So if that's you, go get it checked out. So after the year passed, I actually went to a doctor and you know, we found out that I have PCOS. I've always had it. That's why I had irregular cycles. So it's normally a reason why you are. So with PCOS, that's polycystic ovary syndrome, which means because I wasn't regulating every month, when you regulate, you release an egg, if you don't know. And because I wasn't regulating, an egg wasn't releasing. So the eggs would stay on my ovaries and become a cyst. So every time I wasn't regulating, I wasn't releasing eggs. So my eggs was staying on my ovaries and becoming cysts on my ovaries. And PCOS is really just a hormonal disorder. So you gotta get your hormones back on level. 1 out of 10 people are actually affected by PCO. You can call it PCO or PCOS. It's both names, it's the same. And it's crazy because when I found out I had it, I actually started telling people about it because I'm open and it's not a secret to me. So when I started opening up about it, I had friends and coworkers like, oh my God, I have that too. Like, how do you deal with it? It was just amazing how many people actually had it, just opening up about it. So that's what PCOS is. And if you're dealing with PCOS and want to know more about it, maybe just drop me a comment because that could be a whole nother video. That's a super in-depth process. If that's something you are interested in, I may come back depending on how many people are interested in that. But that's just an overview of it. So I found out I had PCOS, and so my doctor put me on metformin. And metformin is used to treat PCOS most of the time, as well as your health and lifestyle changes. I was already a healthy person, and most people know that I stayed in the gym, I ate pretty healthy. But when I tell you, when you are diagnosed with PCOS and to get your cycles regulated, your diet, I don't even want to say diet, your eating habits go to a whole nother level. So I had to go to a whole, I thought I was on a good level, but I had to go to a whole nother level. And that level was like dairy-free, gluten-free. I mean, it was just so strict. It was so strict. But I did it. I did. I lost 20 pounds because a lot of times they do want you to lose weight too. So I got on the metformin, I went to the next level for eating habits, and I lost 20 pounds. So I got my period regulating right off the bat. So you can come back PCOS, guys. You really can. Don't let anyone tell you can't. But yeah, I got my cycles regulating every month. We got the cyst off, and we got eggs releasing. So yeah, after a few months, I still wasn't getting pregnant and everything was going smoothly. So my doctor recommended I get an HSG, which is, I can't pronounce the word. All it is that the doctor want to clear your tubes, your fallopian tubes, to make sure that the sperm can get to your ovaries. So if you don't know how a woman's reproductive parts are, I'll show you a little picture right here, hopefully. So we have our uterus, and then we have our fallopian tubes, and we have 2 ovaries that sits on both sides of our body. So your eggs are in your ovaries, and so the sperm has to travel up the fallopian tubes to get to the ovaries. So if your tubes are blocked, a lot of times that's what's causing you from not getting pregnant. They like to just go and find out the different causes. So the HSG inserts dye into your fallopian tubes to, 1, make sure they're clear, and 2, clear them out if they're not clear. And that's what the doctor does. So I had that exam done. I think the result ended up, I had one tube clear and one was partially blocked. They cleared both the tubes, so that was now fine. So we're at this point now where I had a regulated cycle. I was releasing an egg every month, and I had cleared tubes. So after months of trying, we still wasn't getting pregnant. So then my doctor suggested that my husband get checked out. He also ended up having male factor issues as well. So after we went through that long process of narrowing down the issues, because we did have both male and female factor issues, IVF was the only option for us. I'm gonna go more into IVF, which is also called in vitro. It's more about, they take the eggs out of me, the sperm out of him, put them in a bowl, combine them to make a baby in a lab, and then they put the baby in the body. That's a simplified version of IVF. And so it takes out all the external factors. You don't have to worry about getting the sperm up the uterus, up the fallopian tubes, to the egg, and then trying to get the sperm in the egg, you know, because not every sperm attaches to an egg. So it just takes out all of that. So IVF is like the ultimate. So we literally skipped all of the other treatments, because there are other treatments out there like IUIs and all of that stuff. But because we knew exactly the cause, our best option was just straight IVF. So that answers this question of how we got pregnant, as well as why we decided to do IVF. And if you are dealing with infertility, I do hope that you have a happy ending as well as a new beginning. And don't forget, you're not alone. There are more people than you think dealing with this. Now, I also have created an IVF journal, guys, that I wish I would have had when I was going through IVF. This thing is so detailed, and I tailored it because I went through the process and I put in here everything I would have wanted to have. I'm gonna go more into detail into this, as well as our entire IVF story step by step in the next video. So be sure you go ahead and head to the next video in this series if you want to continue to learn about what actually happened, what is IVF, what all did we have to go through as a couple, and learn more about this thing called infertility. So feel free to follow along as we share our journey. I'll see you guys in my next video.